for all the examples we've seen. Him suing Showtime for $300 million, him foreclosing on multiple properties, him losing on investments on multiple properties, him buying a lot of depreciating assets, and him all of a sudden looking to box very much in the year 2026. Floyd losing money Mayweather, as the chatter says, is in dire straits financially.
Because they don't like him. They don't like him because everything he says is about money. There's nothing else. There's no values. There's no, like the people's champ, like Ali was standing for the same things.
Right.
The audience was standing for. You know, he doesn't have any of that. It's just money. You know what I'm saying? And that, he knows you don't like him.
Some people will say, you know, he's suing now because of his gambling habits, which was not hidden. It was not a secret. He would post, not Teddy Atlas talking about anything that wasn't out there. He would post some of his tickets, his betting tickets that he bet, and they were large bets. And so some people say, oh yeah, like you said, he was Mayweather, Money Mayweather, and now he's suing because he went through his money, he blew his money, whatever.
Floyd Mayweather, once known as one of the wealthiest athletes in the world, now appears to be going through a major downfall. The boxing community has reacted with both disappointment and frustration as his legal issues continue to grow. On top of that, Manny Pacquiao could reportedly take legal action against him following the recent remarks he made about their fight.
We are not one of these sick people, and I call them sick, I'm not afraid to say what I feel, that's in their underwear in grandmother's basement or wherever the frick they are, taking pot shot at people because of their misery, because of their misfortune, because they're in a bad place. Shame on you. And shame on the people out there. I know that there's some of them, everyone knows I don't really read that internet unless somebody shows me specifically some stuff, and I saw some of the stuff. I didn't want to see any more, so I told them, don't show me anymore. But I saw enough to see what was out there. People taking shots at a great fighter, Mayweather. Probably the same people that were, applauding him and saying how great he was at one point, and now they're taking shots at him like they're almost, like they get pleasure.
Reports have surfaced claiming that Floyd Mayweather's enormous fortune may not be as secure as many once believed, with allegations involving liens, foreclosures, outstanding debts, and heavily financed assets such as luxury properties and his private jet. Creditors are also reportedly chasing him over unpaid jet fuel expenses. At the same time, Mayweather created further controversy after describing the Manny Pacquiao bout as an exhibition, while allegedly accepting money tied to a professional fight agreement, potentially placing him in violation of his contract.
Had to say the fight weekend of Fundora and Thurman. Apparently he did an interview, said that it was an exhibition, that these guys didn't have anything to prove, that their legends were already set in stone, and that it would be an exhibition. He wasn't sure if it was going to be at the Sphere. Apparently, that is not true. According to a Boxing Scene article that interviewed Jazz Mathur, the CEO of Manny Pacquiao Promotions, said that, yes, the fight is contracted for the Sphere, booked at the Sphere, scheduled at the Sphere for September 19th. It is booked as a professional fight, not as an exhibition. It was never booked as an exhibition, which makes sense because Netflix got behind it, and I would assume that they would not want an exhibition. We said the other day, I think it was actually yesterday, we said that this fight has to be a real fight and not an exhibition because, one, Netflix is involved, two, Manny Pacquiao wants that get back, and two, also just betting lines. It's a huge.
On Twitter, Mike Carpenter called out Floyd Mayweather over his controversial remarks, stating that Mayweather's statements directly conflict with Netflix's official announcement. According to Carpenter, Floyd could be violating his contract if he continues pushing the idea of turning the bout into an exhibition. Wade Plemons also claimed that after receiving signing bonuses and advance payments for a professional fight, Floyd labeling it as an exhibition makes it appear as though he is attempting to deceive both Netflix and Manny Pacquiao's team. He further referenced a Logan Paul event, accusing Mayweather of pulling a similar stunt by allegedly using another person's name and likeness to help prevail the fight for $10 million in cash.
Is off. Something's completely off because you got one person saying it's a real fight. You got the promotion saying this is a real fight. You got Floyd Mayweather saying no, this is an exhibition. There's two things that are happening here. Either somebody messed up in paperwork or in communication or in some form of getting this fight together, misspoke to one of these guys, or Floyd Mayweather is trying to scam Netflix. That is the only two things that can be possible here. Because we then get the report, as of yesterday, that Floyd Mayweather has already taken a cash advance payment of his purse for the upcoming Manny Pacquiao rematch on Netflix, despite it currently being in jeopardy. I don't even know how that's possible. Who gave him a cash advance before they even got to the fight? I understand like paying some up front to secure the fight, but paying everything? Maybe it's not what it is. Maybe the cash advance is...
Something is off. Something's completely off because you got one person saying this is a real fight. You got the promotion saying this is a real fight. You got Floyd Mayweather saying no, this is an exhibition. There's two things that are happening here. Either somebody messed up in paperwork or in communication, or in some form of getting this fight together misspoke to one of these guys, or Floyd Mayweather is trying to scam Netflix. That is the only two things that could be possible here, because we didn't get the report as of yesterday that Floyd Mayweather has already taken a cash advance payment of his purse for the upcoming Manny Pacquiao rematch on Netflix, despite it currently being in jeopardy. I don't even know how that's possible. Who gave him a cash advance before they even got to the fight? I understand like paying some upfront to secure the fight, but paying everything, maybe it's not what it is. Maybe the cash advance is like Teddy Atlas described the situation as truly unfortunate, explaining that many athletes often do not have the proper people around them to handle their money and financial decisions. According to Atlas, that appears to be exactly what happened with Floyd Mayweather.
Everything. They risk so much, and then everything they took the risk for sometimes is lost. Whether it was Joe Louis, whether whoever. It never becomes not sad or unfortunate to hear. Never. It's look, you could say it's their responsibility. It is. It is. You got to know what's going on. But there are also sharks in this business, in any business, and sometimes these athletes. I wouldn't even specify fighters. We're talking about fighters. But you hear it in football, Bud. You were around it. You hear it in basketball. Sometimes these athletes, they don't have the right people around them to look out for them, to properly educate them, to properly advise.
Jonah Renitz is a controversial businessman and longtime associate of Floyd Mayweather Jr., often viewed as one of the main people involved in handling Mayweather's business ventures and real estate dealings after boxing. A post from Fight Opinion on exclaimed Manny Pacquiao's team is threatening legal action against Floyd Mayweather regarding the Sphere fight on Netflix. However, the possible lawsuit reportedly does not stop with Floyd alone, as his close associate Jonah Renitz has also faced controversy and legal issues of his own. Reports say Manny Pacquiao is standing firm that the matchup is a legitimate professional fight and not an exhibition. Since Floyd has already signed the agreement, Pacquiao's side insists he must move forward with a fully sanctioned professional bout.
Not a real fight?
Is that what he's feeling? But he signed a real fight.
So it's for sure?
Yes, the contract that we signed is a real fight.
Real fight, okay. Yeah, because I know he said...
I want to fight an exhibition.
No exhibition. It's either real fight or nothing.
Yeah, it's a real fight, yeah.
The Sphere still in Las Vegas?
That's the contract that he signed. I mean.
Okay, so it's still happening then?
He has to...
Joe Rogan pointed out that Floyd Mayweather spent more than a decade as arguably the biggest American superstar in boxing. His 2015 victory over Manny Pacquiao came in what was then considered the richest fight in boxing history, as Mayweather displayed his elite defensive skills, hand speed, and the flashy money Mayweather persona that helped build both his fame and massive fortune.
Pretty Boy Floyd to Money Mayweather. Changed the whole thing.
He knew what he was doing.
He definitely did. It would have been an interesting fight had he fought Pacquiao when he was younger, in his prime. It would have been a very different
Would have been
fight.
a more interesting fight.
Much more different.
Because
Much more difficult
any
fight.
go-forward physical warrior like Pacquiao is going to wear down.
Right, exactly.
And any brilliant counterpuncher like Floyd is going to retain more.
Yeah.
So he did.
Yeah, it would have been much more interesting when they were younger. Also, the fact that Pacquiao fought him with a bum shoulder. That was a disaster, too.
Money talks.
Yeah. I mean, look, I guess he was faced with this thing, legacy, or, I mean, it was the biggest pay-per-view of all time in boxing, correct?
I believe so.
I believe so. And I think it was like 4 million buys or something crazy like that.
It was huge.
So, like, what is that?
Floyd Mayweather has long been known for showing off his massive wealth, regularly spending huge amounts on luxury watches, exotic cars, and even writing enormous checks worth millions of dollars as though money was never an issue. He built an image of being untouchable, constantly displaying a lifestyle filled with endless riches and no concern for financial pressure. However, he has now filed a lawsuit against his former broadcasting partner, Showtime, along with former executive Steven Espinoza, claiming he is owed $340 million. The legal battle creates a sharp contrast to the public image Mayweather has projected for years, revealing that even one of richest and most famous stars can still face serious complications when business deals, contracts, and financial responsibilities come into play.
18 mil retired. I know some people gonna be like, well, you said I didn't want to say I was active, because that's normal. I said I wasn't activated. I knew what I said, so a lot of times I'm like, oh, you didn't say it right. I know I said it right. I know what I said. I know what I posted.
I don't really care how much you make, bro. I feel like writing an $18 million check has to feel some sort of way, though.
That's crazy. I didn't want to do it. Of course, I'm like, who wants to give up basically 20 million?
You wrote 18,180,000,000.00. Like, bro, that's crazy.
You know, I got huge deals on the table, so I'm always making shake.
What's the biggest thing you got working right now?
I can show this. Come here. So come here. So
Dude, what is it?
Let me keep this long. Okay. So right here.
That's crazy.
I just keep stuff on the.
Yeah, my math don't work like that. My math.
So now, when we gonna cut it again?
50 Cent once explained that many people dislike Floyd Mayweather because of his money-driven approach to fights and the way he constantly boasts about his wealth and lifestyle. Over the years, countless fans wanted to see Mayweather finally lose inside the ring. However, Floyd has managed to turn that negativity into an advantage for himself. The criticism and hostility surrounding him only helped generate bigger pay-per-view numbers and massive revenue, allowing him to profit from the public's resentment. His unique ability to capitalize on both support and hate helped transform him into one of the most successful and controversial figures in boxing history, proving that criticism can still become a powerful business tool when combined with elite talent, confidence, and the Money Mayweather image that defined his career.
Time very simple. We said, what a prize fighter fight for? And I'm like, and he said, the prize. So it's okay for you to watch the fight. Don't nobody watch Floyd fight to see how amazing he is. They watch it for the opportunity to see him lose.
Right.
Because they don't like him. They don't like him because everything that he says is about money. There's nothing else. There's no values. There's no, the people's champ, like Ali was standing for the same things.
Right.
The audience was standing for. You know, he doesn't have any of that. It's just.
Max Kellerman explains that fighters such as Floyd Mayweather, who spend huge amounts of money and fail to make smart long-term investments, can eventually run into major financial difficulties after their peak years. He stresses that even athletes who earn hundreds of millions are not protected from financial struggles if they do not manage their money responsibly. According to Kellerman, reckless spending without proper future planning often leads to serious problems once a fighter's earning power begins to decline. He points to Floyd Mayweather as an example of how poor financial planning can result in lawsuits, debt issues, and even the pressure to return to boxing for more income. In the end, Kellerman believes disciplined money management is essential for lasting financial security, even for the highest-paid athletes in the world.
The 3 fights that's coming up: Floyd Mayweather, Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather. I think the guy's from Greece or something like that. What do you feel about great champions doing these kind of fights as well, or just these kind of fights that's going on?
You need money.
Damn.
Yeah, when you need money. This is the problem with boxing. You think about financial literacy, right? And you talk about like NFL players or NBA players. There's support systems for those dudes. There's nothing like that for fighters. They got to figure it out all themselves. And if you're a fighter, that means you did not have options.
Right.
Yeah. It's not like basketball or football. If you could, like, by the way, football players couldn't play basketball, or they play basketball. It's a better deal, right? That's if you can, you do. And boxers couldn't do either one of those things, right? They're too small, or they got hurt, whatever it is. And so you're dealing with
Max Kellerman has criticized Floyd Mayweather for the way he handled his fortune, pointing to his lavish spending on expensive cars, luxury watches, and gambling habits. Kellerman argues that constantly showing off wealth without proper financial planning eventually leads to instability. He also notes that many athletes experience similar problems, walking away from their careers with far less money than expected despite earning millions during their prime years. According to Kellerman, even the highest paid stars must be careful with their finances because reckless spending and impulsive decisions can rapidly drain enormous fortunes. He views Floyd Mayweather's lifestyle as a warning example, demonstrating how nonstop extravagance and failing to focus on smart investments can create serious long-term financial troubles, leaving even legendary athletes dealing with money problems later in life.
No support or kind of structure in place to help them at all. And so what usually happens with almost every fighter who ever lived, not everyone, but most of them, is they wind up going broke at a certain point, right? First of all, taxes, child support, all that kind of stuff, that promoters, this and that, and then just the way you spend your money. It could be bad investments. You could try to do the right thing and wind up with bad investments. You could just spend too much. And the thing is, if you're not the best in the world anymore, but you're one of, let's say, the 50 best in the world at what you do in your weight class, still hard to tell that dude you can make $100 million. No, don't do that.
Wade Plemons reports that Floyd Mayweather has already received a major cash advance for his proposed Netflix rematch with Manny Pacquiao, even though uncertainty still surrounds the fight. He questioned how such a situation could happen, explaining that while partial upfront payments to secure a bout are common in boxing, paying out an entire person in advance is highly unusual. Both ESPN and Mike Kopinger reportedly confirmed the existence of the advance payment. Clemens further claimed that Floyd has a long history of accepting large advances while disrupting promotions in ways that help protect his undefeated 50-0 record while continuing to generate massive income. He referenced previous exhibition bouts against Deji and Logan Paul, alleging that Mayweather demanded enormous payouts and at times threatened to pull out of the events. Now, Plemons warns that Floyd's latest actions could create serious legal consequences as Manny Pacquiao's team reportedly claims Mayweather signed 3 separate agreements for a professional fight, received multiple payments, and accepted another substantial cash advance, forming what they believe is a clear pattern of financial manipulation that may ultimately lead to lawsuits.
Believed, and this is via ESPN, this is not, random Twitter person reporting this. I think Mike Coppinger also reported the same thing. If this is to be believed, Floyd took a cash advance and then undermined the promotion of his own fight to try to protect his 50-0 record and still make a bag. Floyd has done this for years. He has done this for years, especially after his pro career. When he was doing these exhibitions, he would not show up to things he was obligated to do, take advances. Even the Deji fight, you can ask Deji, I was there. Floyd demanded that they pay him some insane amount of money or he wasn't going to fight Deji while he was at the venue. And they wanted to change gloves and do all this stuff. And I think they actually did it. They paid Floyd to do it. And I've seen this with a bunch of his exhibitions. And obviously we know about the Logan Paul situation, how Floyd shopped his fight to a different company after essentially scamming royalty like Prince.
Jason Whitlock points to the growing rumors surrounding Floyd Mayweather's financial situation, including claims of bankruptcy, property auctions, and running low on money, which some believe is the reason behind his return for another high-profile fight similar to Mike Tyson's comeback. Whitlock argues that Floyd burned through massive amounts of wealth while living an extravagant Las Vegas lifestyle, constantly trying to maintain a flashy public image and connect with people by openly displaying his riches. He criticizes that mentality as a dangerous example of living for appearances and culture instead of focusing on long-term financial responsibility. Now, as Mayweather approaches 50 years old and prepares to step back into the ring, Whitlock believes it reflects the consequences that can come from excessive spending and poor financial management despite Floyd's incredible success and legendary boxing career.
Media, there are rumors and stories coming out about Floyd Mayweather, him auctioning off property, him being in bankruptcy, him being out of money, and that's why he's going to fight Mike Tyson. Saw this incredible tweet where a guy listed all the things Floyd Mayweather wasted money on while living in Las Vegas and just living for the culture. That's what Floyd Mayweather is an example of. The stupidity of living for the culture and trying to be relatable and trying to be this incredible icon or example of, look how much money I've made. He's blown it all, and now at 49 years old, he's got to go back into the boxing ring and continue to fight because...
Paulie Malignaggi believes that Floyd Mayweather's controversial remarks could ultimately become the biggest factor driving interest in the fight. According to Paulie, Floyd's bold statements and constant ability to create debate keep the public talking, which naturally brings more attention and viewers to the event. He suggests that Mayweather's comments about the bout possibly being an exhibition or a professional fight may all be part of a calculated strategy designed to build hype around the matchup. The controversy surrounding Floyd only increases curiosity among fans, leading to greater public interest and stronger pay-per-view numbers. In Paulie's view, the more people argue over Mayweather's statements, the bigger the fight becomes. He believes Floyd may be intentionally fueling outrage and speculation, turning public reaction and non-stop discussion into a powerful marketing tactic aimed at maximizing both viewership and revenue.
Mayweather has to agree to whatever the contract is. If it's a fight, I think one of the comments the other day really made a point that, one of the comments in our chat made a point that, has really stuck with me. Mayweather has to know the terms he agreed to. Come on, I mean, you can't just sign something and not know those terms. He's got to know that if it is, in fact, it has to be a fight, then he would do this. And he knows he's got to go through with a fight. He may just be saying this just to sell the fight in general, just to sell it as, make it a talking point, make it a controversial point so that people want to wind up, talking about it more. It becomes a topic of discussion, and then from that perspective, people end up watching. More people end up watching it because it becomes more of a polarizing topic of conversation. So I don't know. I see this eventually getting straightened out. I think it has to. I mean, Floyd has to fight right now. I think Mayweather probably wants to fight right now. Mayweather wants to fight and probably has to fight right now. And
that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching, and make sure to stay tuned for more updates and breaking boxing news coming.